Jonathan Anderson gave himself a great birthday present today. It was the most relaxed and possibly the most commercial collection he's ever shown, but that didn't mean it didn't have a lot of his signature idiosyncrasy. I mean, it was a collection that combined Henry VIII and girls dancing around a campfire in Ibiza to great effect. I feel like you had a really wonderful summer that came through in that collection.
Yeah, no, summer's great to decompress and pretend you don't work in fashion. And when we came back, I quite like this idea of making it feel grounded, a little bit acidy at moments, a bit solar, and I don't know, chilled. It's fashion, you know, and you've got to sometimes relax into it.
There was a slight touch of Ibiza, you know, like when you live on top of the beautiful White House, you know, like you don't care about much, just looking gorgeous.
But I think it kind of fits with the last menswear collection that had that sort of folky mixed with something kind of crazed element.
He looks at a lot of things, you know, he loves books, he loves magazines, he loves to go on the net, he loves the Tumblrs, he loves the Instagram. He likes to connect with people.
It's not just a collection, it's actually the way it works with photography, the way it works with advertising, the way it works with everything.
And then there's this other quality because it's a J.W. Anderson show, which is always a little edge of the perverse, which felt like Romeo and Juliet to me. It felt like doublets and things.
Yeah, no, I like that kind of, you know, we'd looked at like 1530 and, you know, and I quite like this idea of like a Henry VIII, that idea of like Catholicism going into Protestant, you know, like this, you know, like this huge like structure to make you feel big. And I quite like the idea that it was for me, it was a new way to tackle, which I think we always try to tackle, is this idea of the relationship between the men's and the women's wardrobe. There's always been this like, I'm obsessed by it because I feel like where do garments always live and where should they live? And I thought it was like a garment which was nearly kind of so ridiculous for a man that it nearly should have been owned by a woman in the end.
So, I mean, so you have Henry VIII and then a girl dancing around a campfire sucking on an MDMA lollipop. You bring them together in one collection. And you get, I think, a woman who is a woman or a girl who's on the edge, which I quite like. She's, you know, she's incredibly calm, but there's something a bit spunky about her. Would you say it's about something as simple as just relaxing into what you're doing?
I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I think is what the difference is. I think when I first 3 years ago started doing both brands, you have this anxiety of like, you've got to prove to the world that everything's going to be great. And then you start to realize that it's actually, the most important thing is like, do you enjoy it? And I think I have never, in the last year, I've never enjoyed it more. So you kind of get this feeling of like, let it do what it has to do. You know, don't having to like fabricate it to make it all, just let it be free.
Because we hear so much about designers, you know, buckling under the pressure of all the stuff they have to do. You seem to look fresher and younger the more you have to do, like a vampire.
Just like a vampire. No, I feel like what the most important thing is, you know, you've got to sharpen your saw, so you've got to take time off. And you know, when you take time off, you start to realize what you're doing. You don't have to look back, but you kind of have to look right now and go, right, this is what we're doing. We've got 2 more collections to get through, and they need to be better than last ones. But they need to be better for you. And I think that's the difference. I think years ago I was so focused on making it better for everyone else. And then you realize I have to get up in the morning and I have to enjoy the job. And I every morning I've got amazing teams and I get up in the morning and it's exciting. You know, it's really exciting when product starts to sell. It's exciting when people wear it or you engage, it's about people. And I think as long as you keep on the ground, it's fine. It's the minute you take one foot off the ground, it's like, then you're screwed. And I think that's why a good summer break is very good for that.
If you want to know more of what I think about fashion, if you even care what I think about fashion, don't forget to subscribe to The Business of Fashion on YouTube.